What's up, everybody? John here, aka Four Scars Gaming, and today we're going to take a look at how the single player action roguelike hit Returnal from PlayStation runs on Steam Deck. Now, this game was just released on Steam after seeing great success on the PlayStation 5 last year, and here we are. We're going to take a look at how this runs and looks on the Steam Deck, and we'll go through some default settings first as they initially set it up. We'll do benchmark as well that they have built in there, and then we'll do some tweaking. So it's going to give you an idea of how it looks and runs, and really, in my opinion, it's not too surprising. With that being said, let's go ahead now and let's get the game started here. Alrighty, so here we go. PlayStation Studios. And yeah, let's take a look here. And this is installed on the internal SSD of the Steam Deck. Alrighty, so there we go. We can see some stuttering already. And again, this is all the default settings running on the Steam Deck. So let's just take a little look around here. Then we'll run the benchmark, as I mentioned, and then we'll do a little bit of tweaking here. So we're gonna look here, and actually, before we get going, let's take a peek here. We can see it's running at 720p, and if we go over to the graphics here, again, by default, VSYNC is on, 60 FPS, no screen optimizations, and all our stuff is set to low lighting, shadow, ambient occlusion, screen reflection. Of course, ray tracing is disabled. Model quality is low. What I really do like about this here is they tell you on the right here the impact of changing it, the load on the CPU, GPU, and your VRAM as well. So we can see everything low here: particle anti-aliasing, depth of field, film grain, bloom, all this stuff here. Don't worry, we're going to go back and we're going to tweak and do a little bit of optimizations here. But I just wanted to show you by default, as soon as you boot up the game, what it's going to run like. Let's look at the benchmark here so we have an idea, and then we'll go into some gameplay. So we're going to hold the Y button down here, and it's going to go into the built-in benchmark. We're going to see how the game runs. I like it. Does a whole bunch of different tests here. It gives you all the information as well. It's doing destructibles and volumetric fog here. Now, on the Steam Deck itself, I have the frame limiter turned off. So it's just within the software here with that VSYNC on that it's limiting it to 60. Yeah, as you can see, it's a super heavy load on the GPU there. Our frames are fluctuating around here. And it'll give us a report here. Animation, particles, and NGP. So it's pretty evident that when they brought Returnal over to Steam and the PC here, really the Steam Deck wasn't a consideration. And not that there was any indication that it was, but who knows? maybe in the future there could be some optimization patches or whatnot to see improved performance. But again, we're going to take a look here and see what we can do. Enemies and projectiles here. You can see here, really, it's the strain is on the GPU with the default settings here. And we're about 92% done here. Let's wait for our report. Okay, so let's take a look here. Let's see, we've got some performance here. The average frame count, 24 frames a second. The average CPU load, 46. GPU, 96. So really high load on the GPU itself. And yeah, you could go down into the breakdown of multiple different things here. Look at this, the destructibles and volumetric fog, average frames 19 frames a second. Animation particles and NGP about 20. And again, it's that GPU that's really being pushed to the max here. Material, VFX and reflections, 23. And yeah, we just keep going on here. All the different zones, themes and projectile beams. Again, 23 frames per second. Average load on the GPU is 96%. Enemies and projectiles. You're going to see the pattern here. A really high load on the GPU, and our frame rate here just staying in that kind of mid-ish 20s here. Oh, there we go. And we're back here to zone 1, and that's where our highest was at 32%. You can see here. So again, it's not too much of a surprise, the performance here. Let's go in, let's play a little bit of the game here again with the default settings right, nothing tweaked, and let's take a peek here, and then we'll do some tweaking. And naturally, the pre-rendered scenes that we see there run pretty well. Okay, so let's go back here. Let's get back into the game here. So this is with no screen enhancements. FSR is not enabled, any of that good stuff.
Abandoning Helios. Heading towards White Shadow broadcast.
Okay. You can see here, like, the draw distance is fairly short. You can see the vegetation pop up here. And we're going to move around. Going through here. And here's our bloom. We're averaging, you know, you can see there we're the high 20s, low 30s. Bounces around a bit. Yeah, there we go. We had kind of a mid 20s here. We're going to do some shooting of the enemies here, and you can see so we get some action on the screen. Frame rate's going to drop. And again, I'm like, honestly, I'm not really too surprised. Wasn't really expecting, but kind of hoping that maybe there were some optimizations for the Steam Deck. Who knows? Like we said, in the future, that may happen. Okay, let's see. Come on. There we go. We got those enemies taken out here. And let's see. Pick up some more things. There we go. There's the key to the door that we needed. And let's head back. First, this caught my eye here. Let's see. There we go. I'm going to pick that up. Great. And let's head back here. Yeah, you can see that draw in here. Really evident. Let's go ahead and open up the door. Use the key to open the door. Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm going to boot across there. We're going to pick this up. We're going to go a little further into the game here. Go through here. And see if we can come across some more enemies. Okay, yep, here's some more enemies here. Get reloaded. There we go, taking them out here. So again, we do see some dips to 26, but kind of hovering around that 28 to 32 frame mark here. Adrenaline, there we go. Enhanced vision here now. Okay. So there's kind of, a couple minutes of here running around how Returnal looks on Steam Deck with the default settings. Let's go ahead now and do a little bit of tweaking. Let's go into the settings, and the first thing that I want to do, I'm turning the VSYNC off, and we can leave it at 60 FPS here. Screen optimizations, you have different options: resolution scaling, dynamic resolution, FSR, NIS, and it's really good. It'll give you an explanation of what everything is over on that right hand side. VRS as well. So you've got various different settings. We're going to go with FSR, and let's go for balanced here. We're going to keep lighting to low, shadow quality low, ambient occlusion, we can't turn it off, so we're keeping that to low. The screen space reflection, I'm turning that off there. That's going to help lighten the load on the GPU. Model quality low, texture quality low, fog low, particle quality low, anti-aliasing low, depth of field, we're going to turn that off. Free up some more resources on the GPU. Film grain, we're going to get rid of that completely. The bloom as well. And yeah, so let's see now with these settings. Let's run the benchmark. And let's see with these settings how it performs. It should give us an analysis compared to our last settings right at the end here. If there's a decrease or a gain in performance. So that's what we'll be taking a look at. You can see as it goes through here, this destructibles and volumetric fog really seem to put the Steam Deck's GPU through the paces here. What we'll see here once it finishes. And you can see that draw in as well, and with the balanced here, some of the vegetation there doesn't look really too sharp. There we go. Projectiles and beams. We can see the GPU is pretty much staying pegged there. Fluctuates a little bit out of the 90s, but we're gonna see here. Let's see. Okay, so we have a change of 5%, or sorry, 5 frames per second. So we've got that gained by just doing some tweaking, CPU utilization. There, 5% difference, and then GPU 1%. So you can see if we go through the different zones, we do have our averages do go up, but we're looking at the high 20s, low 30s. Pretty much here, the theme, or sorry, the lighting and shadows is what really does perform well. GPU still really getting its put through a workload here, but 96%, not bad. So now let's continue. We're going to get out of here, and now we're going to go ahead and play a little bit with these new settings and kind of just see FSR is enabled now, and just see really some of the things like the film grain has been taken out. Now, to me personally, what I noticed right away is the picture quality itself. I mean, we can see here, we're just standing here, the frames are going high. It's really kind of got like a muddy look to it here. Definitely not as sharp without any screen enhancements. And we're going to go over here. Okay. Yeah. You can definitely see we do get a little bit better performance here, but at the cost of the visuals. See if we go around here, and we've got that FSR. We can change that to a different setting.
Of a xenotype species, likely the architects of these ruins. These could be the sentients that broadcast the white shadow signal.
Okay. So we're going around here, and look, like you can see that, like the textures and whatnot, of course on low settings and with FSR enabled, kind of really just doesn't look too good. And now we go through here. Let's see, can we give this a shot? I'm making a few dents in it here. Now, what I want to do is we're going to go around here, and as we run back around, we're going to get into some light here. Oh, I don't want to fall off the side. Okay, so this is a really good example of, you can see the changes there. Let's go in here, take a look at the rocks, our character model and whatnot, and let's go in and tweak a bit here. We're going to go into the graphics. Balance. I'm going to set this to quality, and we can drop the FPS. You get different increments of 10, which is really good. I'm going to drop it to 30, because that's a more realistic expectation of the game to run. You might be able to squeeze some 40 here, but let's put it down to 30 FSR quality. The lighting quality will keep low, and look, I like to see the medium. We instantly get to see changes. Epic. Low, medium, shadow quality as well. It gives you the different preview of what the settings are. Ambient occlusion, I really wish I could turn that off, but I can't. Model quality, let's see if we can kind of maybe bump that up to medium. Same thing with the textures. The fog, we know that gave the GPU some problems. Keep that on low. Particle quality, low as well. The anti-aliasing, look at that. There's not a whole lot of difference really there. Depth of field off. Again, the film grain, the bloom off. So let's take a peek here. If we go back up, what we've changed is the model quality, the texture quality, instead of low, that's set to medium. And we've got the FSR set to quality and the frames locked at 30 via the game here. So let's go back. We're gonna exit. Somewhat better, but to me, if we're looking like at our character model here, really isn't looking too sharp when FSR is on there, enabled. Wow, it really does take a hit visually, the visual quality itself here. I'm gonna go back out here. You can see we're getting a few stutters here. We've got it locked at 30, so take a look. Again, you can see that draw in there with the vegetation appearing pretty close here. Going back through here. A little stutter here and there. Going across. You can see here's the beams that we were at before. Almost like a washed out look to them here. Just looking over the edge here. We're not going to go anywhere. See if we can kind of backtrack here a bit and just see texture medium, models medium here. Everything else pretty much set to low and locking it at 30 frames a second. As I said, that's probably the more realistic approach that you're going to look at for this. And who knows, you know, maybe there might be some performance patches or optimizations put out by Sony that will help improve the performance and or look. But, you know, that's unknown at this time here. Let's see if we go up here. And we can go across here, a boost. And if we take a look here at these beams, I think this is something we can kind of see here. If I change, now take a look at the beams now. If I change the screen optimizations to off, and then we turn FSR, you see FSR adds kind of that fuzz to it here. I personally like the look of the game better without any optimizations on the Steam Deck. I think enabling the FSR washes it out somewhat. You can do some resolution scaling, dynamic resolution, but all those, again, they're going to take a load on the GPU, and I personally myself, I really think that it looks best. When we look at our character model here, it doesn't look, let's see if we can get to some light. It doesn't look like it's washed out when we enable any of those screen optimizations. It's kind of with these settings here, our textures set to medium and model set to medium. We're kind of getting a few dips here and there, but locking it to 30 seems to help with some performance and visuals itself. What I want to do here now is let's see if we can do a few more tweaks here. Let's see, the lighting quality. Let's go through. Really the most important here, I think, are the model and the texture quality that are really going to make the difference. The anti-aliasing, I mean, you can see really not, in my opinion, worth the cost that it's going to take for minimal improvement there. Again, we have that depth of field, the blue moth. really, if we go and look at the settings here, I really think, like, let's see if we're going to bump up the model quality and the texture quality. Let's kind of bump that up, and let's see how that's going to look. If we could get it running at a pretty constant 30 FPS, might be the best settings for it at this current time of launch. Well, you can see we got some dips here. We hit some low 20s. And you know what? Let's do this. Let's go into the settings here, and we are going to... Oh, we don't want to end the cycle and exit. I really was hoping... There we go. We can restart the cycle. So let's restart the cycle here with our current settings. And let's see. We're on textures high, model high. Yeah, even some stutter there, and they're pre-rendered, which maybe some pre-shader cache could fix that, but it's really neither here nor there. Let's see, we've got the mid to upper 20s.
Abandoning Helios. Heading towards White Shadow broadcast.
Upper 20s here, not too bad. And again, this is with the high setting on the textures and the character models. We're gonna go settings, gameplay, I think set to low. I think really these high settings are a bit too much if we're going to try and stay at that 30. So I'm going to drop these again down. And let's see. Okay. See, I think that's probably going to be the best bet. We still do get some mid-20s, but for the most part... Oh, don't you dare kill me here. Not too bad here. Near constant 30. Even with some enemies action going on here and some... Okay, here we go. Some fire and whatnot on the screen. Alright, let's pick this up. And let's see. We're going to go over here. Take a look. Can we see our... Oh, we got the key. Okay. Let's see if we go through here again. There we go. There's our beam friends over here. Pick this up. And you can see the beams look pretty good here. Our character models looking good. And yeah, I mean, honestly, right now, as I say, right at launch here with no updates, patches, and I'm not even sure if there are any that are currently scheduled. There very may well be. Definitely in the future, there will be patches to the game, but I don't know whether they'll be targeted towards Steam Deck or not. But right now, I feel at launch, if you're going to play Returnal on the Steam Deck, your best settings are going to be with the VSYNC off, limit it to 30 FPS through the game, disabled the limiter through Steam Deck itself, screen optimizations off. When you start to introduce FSR and other optimizations, to me, it washes the look out and does not look as good as it does without any screen optimizations. Keeping the lighting, shadow, and ambient occlusion all low. turning the screen space reflection off. This helps improve the GPU performance, as it shows right there. Model quality medium, texture quality medium. You can run them on low, where you get a little more constant frames there. But I think for me, at least, again, right now, it's worth the medium settings for both of these. Fog low, particle quality low, anti-aliasing low, depth of field off, that film grain definitely turned off, bloom off. Again, all things that will help lighten the load on the GPU. And yeah, I really do think that currently, as of right now, those are the best settings if you're looking to play Returnal on Steam Deck. Now, I do hope in the future that PlayStation Studios decides to do a little bit of optimization for Returnal on Steam Deck. I'd like to see that done because, you know, the more people that can play your game, the better. So we'll see. I mean, definitely it's never going to look as good as a high-end graphics card or running on the PlayStation 5. But, you know, with the Steam Deck, you've got that portability, and, you know, it's just a really fun experience playing games on Steam Deck. So there's our quick first look at Returnal running on the Steam Deck. We took a look at the default settings, did some customizations, and sure, there is probably more tweaking that you can do, but for right now, I feel these are the settings that we went and talked over that will help perform the best here right at launch. Let me know in the comments section below what you think of Returnal running at Steam Deck on launch. Is this a game you're hoping that gets some optimization patches and updates on Steam Deck? Or do you think Returnal is just best left to the big boys and skipping the Steam Deck? Thanks so much, everyone. We'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.